thought I'd go a little early live today. This is an unusual topic. I never bring up other YouTube channels as a rule. I've broken that rule like twice. Most recently, when talking about Cardinal Zen's take on Mr. Michael Lofton, whom I disagree with a great deal, but I never tell people who to subscribe to, who not to subscribe to. Watch whatever Catholic content you want, to do so with an informed conscience and with great discernment. I'm not going to sit here and argue with other Catholic content creators. I've actually purposely avoided that. But today, we have a different kind of story. And this one really angered me when I saw this. And so we're going to calmly discuss what's going on with Father Chad Ripperger. See, Father Ripperger put out a statement where someone is never using audio recordings of things he said or citing sources for things he may have written, claiming that Father Ripperger says all sorts of wild things, and they were things that he actually never said anywhere. And I know that Father Ripperger in traditional circles can be kind of controversial. There are some people who don't like specific things that he said. Like, the difference is there are things that he has been verified as saying. There's a channel on YouTube, actually there's several of them run by the same people, who will put a picture of him on a thumbnail and attribute things that are just wild and not even really Catholic as things he is alleged to have said, to the point where Father Ripperger, who rarely addresses his critics, who usually just ignores them and brushes off their criticisms, felt compelled to speak up. And I'm going to show you the channel in question, at least one of them. I watched a few channels, and yes, as I think my thumbnail said, maybe it was the first draft of it, but they're doing this, misattributing things to what he said, and they're making money off of it. They're literally making things up and doing it for profit. And I'm going to just tell you flat out now, I have a contact in YouTube. Any YouTuber over 100,000 subscribers does or has had contacts within YouTube's hierarchy to help them. Well, they want to help you make your channel as profitable as possible. And I take their suggestions to help grow my channel because that's just a prudent thing to do. But usually I bring up issues I might be having when on the occasion I talk to them. I'm going to bring this up with them because, as you're going to hear, Father Ripperger has attempted to and has gotten no help. So I'm going to see if I can assist him. Now, disclaimer, I did not ask Father Ripperger's permission to do this. I don't know what he thinks of my channel. I don't agree with everything he says about the state of the church and things, but I tend to think Father Ripperger is not only a force for good, but one of the better forces for good in the church today. But I don't think he'd mind that I'm warning many of you who are probably subscribed to the channel or their channels in question about this issue. So let's go to the original article before we explore this a little bit. This comes from Spirit Daily. I quoted them recently on my Akita video that many of you watched. And they had an update about Medjugorje, but the headline for their article is Mailbag. YouTube videos fabricate exorcist words. Article they posted 3 days ago. And they pivot first to talk about stuff going on at Medjugorje, which I didn't find to be that interesting of a topic per se. Instead, I just go right down to here. Here is their article. It's pretty short, and most of it is Father Ripperger contacting them. So, from their article, is nothing sacred? Sad it is to hear of fraud. This was sent to us by Father Chad Ripperger, a well-known exorcist and author. YouTube videos are circulating, imitating him and fabricating accounts. So, what you're about to hear are the words of Father Chad Ripperger emailed to Spirit Daily. For over 3 months, my media lawyer has been working with YouTube to get them to take down the videos on Most Holy Trinity and its affiliate spiritual messengers, he says. YouTube has admitted that it is impersonation and illegal, but refuses to take the videos down. The author, the same for both channels, puts my face and name on the videos and then literally makes things up, claiming I am having visions of the Blessed Virgin Mary and St. Michael, which is completely contrary to the truth. The channel also claims to have official information from me, but this is a complete falsehood. As I mentioned, we have over 40 requests to YouTube to require the author to take the videos down because they do not reflect either my personal experience or even my theological thought regarding certain topics. Interjecting here to say what that means is that it does not, what those videos are attributing to him are not anything he has claimed to have experienced in life or his theological opinions and interpretations on whatever issue it is they're talking about. Even when my media lawyer contacted the author of the channel, she essentially gave him the finger and attacked him verbally. Good Catholic stuff there. Even the images they use are copyright protected, and YouTube has been notified of that, and yet they still refuse to take down the channels. I talk about this problem in the video below, and I'm going to play it for you here. As time goes, not the claims of these two channels get stranger and stranger, meaning they're starting to say weird, outlandish stuff. I appreciate your time. You're taking the time on this. God bless. And so here's the video. I fast forwarded into the 9 seconds in to get past the intro, which I think has copyrighted music in it. We're now going to go full screen here. This is Father Ripperger explaining this himself, if you don't believe that those are his words.
Welcome to the Sensus Traditionis channel. I'm Father Chad Ripperger. There have cropped up a set of YouTube channels that are using my name and claiming the content is from me or implying that the content is from me. It is necessary for everyone to know that I have no connection with these channels and do not give my approval to anything on them. They have never asked for my approval to use my name and photo. If they asked, I would have told them absolutely not, due to the nature of the content. These channels tend to sensationalize Catholic teaching, which does a disservice to people who are seeking the truth. These channels make claims that obviously are suspect to anyone who knows me and knows Catholic theology. The channels often do not even reflect the way in which I talk and tend to use AI voices instead of making clips from other videos. The person or people behind these channels are hiding behind anonymity, and that's never a healthy sign. And the person or persons behind these channels have a problem of deleting comments that accuse them of misrepresenting their relationship with me. Sensible people who really want to understand the faith will ignore these channels, which includes but is not limited to spiritual messengers, Most Holy Trinity, St. Padre Pio blessings, prayer and God's blessing, among others. If you want to know what I and others are saying, look elsewhere, especially on the Sensus Fidelium channel, which is my primary channel, which carries my videos, as well as my own channel, Sensus Traditionis, but also Gabby After Hours and St. Patrick's Cathedral, or for interviews on the same channels, as well as those of Grace Force, Full Sheen Ahead, Chris Stefanik, and Taylor Marshall, among others. I have others as well, but I simply give this information so that the viewer can have accurate information. God bless you, and Mary keep you.
Yes, that's Father Chad Ripperger himself speaking about this issue. Note what he said there. They're using AI. Now, I watched a couple of their videos, and there seems to be a generational break between people who can detect AI by listening to it. Younger people tend to be able to, older people tend not to be able to for some reason. I don't know the reason for that. That just seems to be what the research says. And I can detect AI. Maybe I'm in that border group. And the person running the channel, they use the same voice over and over again, but it's clearly AI. And I don't know if Father Ripperger is saying in there that they use AI instead of, it sounds like he's saying, though, that they use AI to generate his voice. Now, I did not find a video like that, but I will trust that that's what he's saying here, because he has, I don't think, any reason to deceive people. So I'm going to show you that this is their channel. And I suspect many of you are subscribed there because they have 19,000 subscribers. And you can see there's Father Ripperger, there's Father Ripperger, there's Father Ripperger. They're claiming that Pope Francis was attacked by the devil. I assume at this point they're just making it up. But look, every time they put Father Ripperger on there, 10,000 views, 23,000 views, right? That's what they're doing. And it gets worse than that because, as you will see here, I'm going to show you how you can tell one way to tell how a YouTube channel is monetized. An easy way, if you want to know, is you scroll down here and you see this, the thanks button. That's like a super chat for the comments section. And whenever not always will the YouTuber get a notification that they got one, but we usually do. You'll see them sometimes in my comments, people who weren't watching live. Instead of sending a super chat, we'll do a thanks, right? And YouTube takes a cut and the money goes to the YouTuber. You will not see that on a channel that's not monetized. This is a channel that is monetized, meaning they are making money off of making things up that Father Ripperger never said. Look at this. He says, their video, Father Chad Ripperger saw Catholics married with devil in hell. Warning, you will be like that. They saw one claiming that he had a vision of Michael Jackson in eternal perdition. Stuff that I've seen claims out there before from Protestant websites, okay? And they're attributing it to him. And they have several channels of this. Again, I never go after other YouTube channels. I made a promise to God that I would not stir up Catholic controversy unless I absolutely had to, right? The Cardinal Zen thing, I felt like I had to. But this is different. Watch whoever you want. As long as what they're doing isn't absolutely fraudulent. And that's what's going on here. That is what is happening. They're taking his identity and they're claiming to be, in some cases, if Father Ripperger is right, that they're using an AI cloning of his voice. They're using his voice to make up stuff. And they're just attributing other things to things he may have said to imply it was in writing. Why do you think that when I do a news video, 99.9% of the time I post my sources? So you know that I'm not just making it up. And even if I forget to post a source, you can generally find the article because I tell you where I got it from. It's because there's an integrity issue here. And they're just making it up over the course of several channels. So I intend to later today send a message to my contact at YouTube, ask for a meeting. So I got a couple things, nuts and bolts things I'd like to talk to them about anyway, but also for this. Because this is immoral. This is horrifyingly immoral. For those joining late, you'll want to read this from Spirit Daily if you haven't already. The website that this came from, but let me see if I can get back to the article. Yeah, there we go. I'm going to read the statement from him again, just so you can let this marinate. And then I'm going to give you an alternative channel for apologetics that I highly recommend, even though I did not ask this YouTuber's permission. They don't upload as often as I'd like them to, but they do apologetics, in a very different kind of way than most people do. I like their channel a lot because of their presentation style, and they do a job I couldn't do. I'll get to them here in a moment before we wrap this up. Again, Father Ripperger's statement. For over 3 months, my media lawyer has been working with YouTube to get them to take down the videos on Most Holy Trinity and its affiliate spiritual messengers, he says. As an aside, as well as apparently at least another channel besides that, YouTube has admitted that it is impersonation and illegal, but refuses to take the videos down. The author, for the same for both channels, puts my face and name on the videos, and then literally makes things up, claiming I am having visions of the Blessed Virgin Mary and St. Michael, which is completely contrary to the truth. The channel also claims to have official information from me, but this is a complete falsehood. As I mentioned, we have over 40 requests to YouTube to require the author to take the videos down because they do not reflect either my personal experience or even my theological thought regarding certain topics. Even when my media lawyer contacted the author of the channel, she essentially gave him the finger and attacked him verbally. Even the images they use are copyright protected, and YouTube has been notified of that, and yet they still refuse to take down the channels. I talk about this problem in the video below, which I'm not going to play again. As time goes, not the claims of these two channels get stranger and stranger. I appreciate your taking this time on this. God bless. Meaning they're saying more and more outlandish things as time goes on and doing it in his name. And as I showed you, the channels are monetized. They're literally making things up about Father Chad Ripperger, ignoring his every request to take things down and to stop. And they are monetized because if they can do the super thanks, they're probably running the ads too. Okay. And 23,000 views on that video. That one I showed you, that video made them between $150 and $250, depending on certain factors. To give you an idea. Not to get too nuts and bolts on YouTube. The ad rates vary wildly depending on time of year and some other factors. But unless that video was demonetized, it made them not an insignificant amount of money. That really angered me when I saw that. I do respect Father Ripperger a great deal, even if I say disagree with him on like the SSPX and a couple other things. And if the only times I've spoken about Father Ripperger on this channel, this might be the second time in 6 years now that I've spoken about him. The other time was when Catholic public figures were going after him, because this is a news channel, mostly. Now, we're going to go here. Oh, yes, I promised I would show you a better channel to subscribe to if you want some better content. This is from a channel called How to Be Christian. He's a Catholic, and he uses the Bible and the Bible only to argue with Protestants, to correct the errors of Protestantism. And he does it with humor. He has used puppets and toys before to make his point. That won't be very appealing to some people, but it lightens up an otherwise very dry subject matter and adds some entertainment value that there isn't. He is doing a series called What Does Eat My Flesh Mean? He's talking about the Eucharist from using scripture alone to argue on terms against Protestantism that they will accept at least the terms of. It's a very good channel. I'm really sad that he only has 26,000 subscribers. So go check that channel out. And everything he does is honest. Again, don't know where he is on the traditional, conservative, modernist spectrum of things. Everything he says, though, is orthodox, at least, is Catholic. I don't know what he would think of me promoting his channel here for free, but there you go. There's no better alternative if you're looking for apologetics than what those people are doing to Father Chad Ripperger. Raven Rayleigh says, Spirit Daily, I haven't visited that site in ages. Yeah. It's been a long time until like last week when I was doing my Akita story that I visited them too. A lot of people are saying some good things about Father Ripperger in there in the chat. Father Chad is so good for Catholic remnants. He is currently the preacher we have online to learn about our Catholic spirituality. The Antichrist groups would definitely target him, we pray. Yeah, and, there's such a lack of what I would call, brave voices in the clergy willing to say some unpopular things in light of the state of society. And it's understandable to a degree, but they are called to teach, to speak the truth in these times. It's why bishops wear red. It's why popes wear red sometimes. The red shoes. They're not there because they look nice and are fancy and talk about are symbolic of royalty. Popes wear red shoes because of the first 36 popes, 33 were martyrs. And they're walking in their footsteps. That's what it symbolizes. Bishops wear red for the same reason. And that's why so few voices are out there that are good, because many of them are afraid. Father Ripper does not appear to be afraid to speak the truth. You'll notice his video that he was reading a script. I don't blame him for making a scripted statement, making it very careful how he spoke about this. In fact, I could take a lesson sometimes in how careful he is. But I'll put all this in my show notes at returntotradition.org not long after this video goes live. So if you're watching it after it's been not a live stream, but just a regular video, you can go check it out at returntotradition.org. I'll have links to everything there. Let me know if there's any thoughts in the live chat about this. No problem. Again, this really, really bothered me. Like, it really did. Because there are figures that I disagree with fundamentally in the Catholic commentary sphere on their takes on the state of the church, but I won't make videos against them unless I absolutely have to, right? Because I'm not here to stir the pot. Watch whoever you want in the Catholic commentary world. Just do it with some discernment. But this is different. This is overtly dishonest. All right, folks. If there's anything else, yeah. She said, Napoleon says, I think copyright owners can apply a strike directly to a channel with immediate effect. Yeah, but here's the deal. They're making things up. So like the image copyright, he'd have to go find out who owns those images. And if he owns them, that's a method he can do. But he has to actually go to the people who own the copyrights. And I don't know how to find that out. But also, it really should be assumed that those making these imposter videos are doing it for far more negative purposes than merely profit. These men are a constant attack and need our prayers. I think so, but again, the profit motive will drive people to do really unsavory things. But it could very well be that they're trying to destroy his reputation too, which makes you wonder. All right, let's see. My wife says there's a reason I'm very careful with which Catholic channels I watch. I mean, yeah, there's very good reasons for that, right? All right, folks. Yeah, Joseph Urink says it's called calumny. Yeah, basically, it is kind of a form of calumny when you're literally just making up sensational things somebody said. that goes against everything they believe, and it doesn't even reflect it. They're not exactly paraphrasing him either, right? That's paraphrasing is still saying what somebody said, it's just reducing how much wordage they use to say it. This is something different. Father Ripperger has never claimed to have had a vision of Michael Jackson in perdition. Okay. Or vision. Not aware of any claims of having had visions that he's made. Full stop. And Charlie Church says, yeah, it's really awful for new Catholics trying to get into faith. That's exactly what he says in his video or in his statement there, that it's really damaging to people who are looking for the truth and thinking about Catholicism in a serious way. All right, folks. Thanks very much for tuning in. Don't be surprised, by the way, if I'd be surprised if the folks we're talking about there try to do something and sort of to get back at me for doing this. So prayers would be appreciated. All right, folks. Thanks very much for tuning in. As always, pray for the church. I'm Anthony Stine. Ave Maria.